what's up? Say hello.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Ryan with Cloudsort here. Good to see everyone.
Yes, Ryan Park with Cloudsort. We just did a panel yesterday together.
Yeah.
On talking about the modular middle mile. So for people that I guess were not here or have not listened to the previous podcast with Cloudsort, give us just a quick brief overview. What does Cloudsort do?
Yeah, definitely. Well, first of all, I wanted to thank you, Kevin, for moderating the Cloudsort hosted panel yesterday.
Pleasure.
So for your viewers and listeners, 10 out of 10 for your moderation.
10 out of 10. I was hoping for 11 out of 10, but I'll take the 10. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Thank you for that.
Quick overview of Cloudsort for folks to
Sure.
try to get them caught up to speed here. So Cloudsort is a logistics and technology company. We're focused on the middle mile of the supply chain, and we're here to help people build scalable, dynamic, and flexible supply chain solutions, focusing on the middle mile. So yesterday's discussion was on the modular middle mile, and then maybe just to recap, let's talk about what the middle mile is.
What's the middle mile?
Yeah,
so we only hear about the last mile. What's the middle mile?
Yeah, middle mile is super important. Everyone in supply chain actually has that. So you have the first mile, that's things like inventory, placement, fulfillment, and then you have your last mile. Folks are familiar with that. That's where the driver would drop off at the doorstep. Everything in between that is the middle mile, and that's what we're focused on. Why is that important? Why should people care? So if you're a retailer or a shipper or someone trying to build out a delivery product, like a 2-day delivery product, you need a middle mile to be able to do that. And what we were talking about yesterday was it's very difficult for retailers and shippers to participate in the middle mile due to the current models that are very expensive because you need big real estate, very expensive mechanical equipment, technology that either doesn't exist or it's very expensive to do. So that's where we had that great panel discussion yesterday on how a modular middle mile can help solve for that. And that's something that Cloudsort's product and technology helps with. So quick recap on, now that we talked about middle mile, what that modular middle mile is.
Yeah, what's the modularity there?
Yeah. So with the modularity, there's really 3 components. Component 1, being able to launch and have availability of the middle mile really anywhere. Second is that true dynamic ability to make changes, which is super critical as well. And then the third piece is what people probably care about is the cost, right? So how does a modular middle mile help a smaller size shipper and mid-size shipper be able to do it? Well, when you have cloud-based technology like Cloudsort's technology, all the complexities are now simplified, where you don't need, again, expensive equipment. So instead of hundreds of $1,000s of auto storage, you can have a simple sortation equipment. Like you and I, we talked about this yesterday. We could just sort on this table here with that.
How many packages could we do right here, sortation? Yesterday we said at the panel, you said we could do 2,000 over there. The theater's a little bigger than you, but how can we do many?
I think for you and me, I think you and I could probably do 500.
500?
Yeah, in an hour or something like that. Yeah.
I would push 750.
Yeah? Okay. We can do that. Well, also you got to account for cube and stuff like that.
Oh, the space aspect. I'm the thing is, I'm overproductive for the space. So the capacity on the labor is 150% of the space. It's 80%. So okay, all right. So interesting. So I mean, how do you guys and that modularity and like you said, being able to just take a small space versus one of the things we kept highlighting yesterday in the panel was talking about how traditionally there's these giant sortation spaces with a lot of automation that's helping that sortation to happen. So tell us, how does the tech from Cloudsort kind of bring that down to, like you said, a smaller size like this and being able to just do a quick sortation here?
Yeah, definitely. So being cloud-based, the equipment or the technology that's needed is very simple. So you either need your laptop here, we would just go to Cloudsort's, cloudsort.com, and then log in, and then you'd have your web-based console here, and then also we're Android compatible. So as long as you have Android device and then a laptop, then you and I can basically configure a middle mile facility right here, and let's pretend we have that going on here, and then The other big piece is we talked about the simple equipment. When you have simple equipment, then you can do things in a smaller space. So instead of like a, this is probably extreme, but instead of like 1 million square foot facility, where if you and I took a trip to a sort facility probably look like the space we're in now. Right? It's very huge and intimidating, and you and I couldn't talk because it's super loud, right?
Yeah.
But
What?
yeah.
Just kidding.
But yeah, so now we're able to do like on average like a 10,000 square foot facility instead. And the really cool thing is instead of us having to like buy a new facility, we can talk to like our on the supply side, talk to like a logistics provider and like even like someone like your company, right, Kevin, where I'm like, hey Kevin, do you have some extra space? And you're like, yeah, I have like 10,000 square feet that we can use here. Oh, bonus, do you have like do you, Kevin, have like extra time on the second half of your day to sort some packages? Oh, great. Like, I'll hook you up with the Cloudsort software, and then like we can start a sort facility in that small amount of space. And that's able to be done because when you have like cloud-based technology, like what we have at Cloudsort, then all of the decision-making is in the app and not, again, in these complicated, expensive like AutoSort equipment and things like that.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting, and it certainly like allows you to enable, and it's something we discussed on the panel yesterday too. Is it enables a lot of people to be more flexible with what they're able to do, whether it's from the perspective of like you said, I have some extra square footage that's not being utilized right now. I can generate some revenue out of there, right? Or I have some additional labor too that I don't necessarily want to cut, but there is time where there's like downtime for them. Like, what are they going to do? So I can start to create some revenue from them and help with that labor retention to keeping them in there for when I do get busier on whatever else I do, right? So I think it's really interesting how you're able to do that, and it's such a great thing to see tech come in and be able to empower these things to help businesses and even smaller to medium-sized businesses do some other different services too. Like as you mentioned, you just need 10,000 square feet or maybe even a little smaller space too, and it allows you to do those things. And so tell us too, I think one of the other things we touched on in the panel, which I think is interesting, is the carrier diversification it allows for when you start to utilize Cloudsort and that sortation process.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. So typically, actually, when we talk to like shippers and retailers, like they'll initially actually approach us because they want to access new final mile carriers. It could be mid-size, it could be as extreme as like a family-owned business as a final mile carrier, or even like the line haul movement. So exactly to your point, like with modular middle mile tech like Cloudsort, we're able to quickly and affordably connect these smaller scale drivers and last mile solutions to these retailers because the integration is very simple. Like we talked about, being cloud-based, as long as you have a laptop and a phone or something like that, then we can then connect these smaller businesses who would otherwise not have the capital for expensive tech to provide the detail of service that the retail and shipper is looking for. Like we're able to provide that because we already know that they're able to provide the operation of like either moving the package or touching it, but everyone wants the tracking, the scan visibility and things like that, and our technology will enable these smaller companies, the mom and pop companies, to have that technology to also provide the technology requirements of the retailer or shipper, for example.
Interesting. It's very interesting what you guys are doing, and I think, like I said before, the tech is allowing so many different things to happen that could not happen in the past, which I think is the most powerful thing about it. It really makes a lot of sense. So Ryan, I want to thank you so much for first, for Cloudsort inviting me to moderate the panel yesterday, and also for you coming by the booth today and talking about Cloudsort. If people are interested in learning more about Cloudsort, how can they do that?
Yeah, cloudsort.com.
Easy.
And then feel free to ping me on LinkedIn and as well. So all of our information's there, and we're always happy to talk to folks. And again, we're here to help empower people to take control of their middle mile. It's really not that difficult, and it shouldn't be intimidating. We want to help with that.
All right. So great stuff, Ryan. Thank you so much for coming by, and always a pleasure to catch up with Cloudsort.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you.